Today we're going to talk about problem solving with proportions. When writing a proportion, consistency is the key. Now, remember, if you're given the proportion A over B equals C over D, or A to B equals C to D, remember, the product of the means is equal to the product of the extremes. So that means that when you cross multiply, you end up with the result that AD is equal to BC. Now, we want to know, is this proportion here, A to B equal to C to D, is that the same as these proportions? Now, it's only going to be the same if you can get the result that A times D equals B times C. So let's go ahead and see what happens. If we cross multiply here, in this first one, we get BC is equal to AD. Well, that's the same thing, so it'd be a yes to this one. Remember, what we're looking for is AD, is that equal to BC? Well, same idea. So let's go ahead and do this one. Cross multiply. We get AD is equal to BC, so that's another yes. That's exactly what we were looking for. What about here? A over D equals B over C. When we cross multiply, we get that AC is equal to DB. That is not the same. Not the same as AD equal to BC. So this one is a no. So this proportion here, A over B equals C over D, can also be written in these two ways. Let's go on. Writing proportions. A scale model of the Titanic is 107.5 inches long and 11.25 inches wide. The Titanic itself was 882.75 feet long. How wide was it? Let's think about it. If you write the ratio of the length to the width of the Titanic, so this is the Titanic. The ratio of the length to the width would be 107. Oh, I'm sorry, this is not the Titanic. This is the Titanic model. So the model is 107.5 inches in length. Let me actually put in the units. Okay, that's your length. And your width is 11.25 inches in width. Okay, so that's your model. Well, the actual Titanic should be proportional to the model. So let's see. Let's see what the length and the width of the actual Titanic was. Well, we're told that the length of the actual Titanic was 882.75 feet long, and we're asked to find the width. So that's our x. That's our unknown in this case. Now, the way we're going to solve this is we cross multiply when you solve a proportion. So you have 107.5x is equal to, now we're going to take 882.75 and multiply it by 11.25. And we end up with 9,930.9375. Now we still need to find x, so we're going to divide each side by 107.5. And when we do that, the 107.5s cancel, and so when we do this, we end up with, we're going to round this, let's round it to the hundredths place. So let's go to 92.38 feet is the width of the actual Titanic. Okay, let's move on. We're given this figure. The this triangle. And we're told the AB, the length of AB is 16. From B to D is X. That's something we're going to be trying to find. The length of AE is 32, and from C to E is 10. And we'd like to find out what X is. Well, here's our solution. The ratio of A to B, of AB to BD, I should say, the ratio of AB to BD should be the same as the ratio of AC to CE. Now, if we can find out what AC is, we're in good shape. Well, AE, we're told, is 32. CE is 10. So if we took 32 minus 10, that gives us 22, which would be the distance from A to C, because this entire side must add up to 32. So we have 22 as AC. So now we can just plug what we know, or substitute what we know into this proportion. From A to B, from AB, length of AB is 16. BD we don't know, that's X. AC is 22, and CE is 10. Now we're ready to cross multiply. So we have 16 times 10 is 160, and 22 times X is 22X. Now to get X alone, we're going to divide each side by 22. And when we take 160 divided by 22, and again, let's round to the hundreds place. The 22's cancel, and we get 7.27. So that is our missing length for BD. Now, let's continue. I want to introduce a new term for you, the geometric mean. To find the geometric mean in this proportion, multiply your two numbers together and find the square root. That's basically what you're doing when you solve for X in this proportion. So you're going to say, basically you cross multiply. So you have AB is equal to X squared. And to find what X is, you take the square root of AB. One thing I really want to point out, when you take the geometric mean and you take the square root of the numbers, your answer is always the positive version of those numbers. I know when you take a square root, you end up with an answer that can be positive or negative, but a geometric mean is the positive number. Okay? So whenever you're asked to find the geometric mean, you're looking for a positive number. Now the arithmetic mean, that's something actually you've used many times. This is just taking an average. So in this particular case, if you have two numbers, you're just going to add the two numbers and then divide by 2. Okay? So let's say that you're asked to find the geometric and arithmetic means of 12 and 20. Now go back to what we were told on the geometric mean. Multiply the two numbers and find the square root. So 12 times 20 is 240. The square root of 240 is 15.5. Remember, it's the positive version, so it's positive 15.5. The arithmetic mean means you're going to add together 12 and 20, which is 32, and just divide by 2, and we get 60. Don't worry about what it says here for homework. We will be working on something in class, so I'm just going to cross that out. That is it for today, so thank you very much for joining me.